Rosenberg. Go ahead. What did Peter Rosenberg say?
Oh man, so all right. I guess I could take the reins on that too. So basically, I was on my way to work. I was running late, so I was in a cab, and I was listening. They threw on Hot 97, and it was the Peter Rosenberg show, and they were talking about Logic and his retirement, and Joe Budden made some comments about Logic and his basically. About his album,
Logic
about
sounds
his
like
artistry.
gentrification.
Yeah,
you should have been retired.
All
like
of those.
That.
Did he really say that though? I don't know.
Yeah, he did say you should have been retired.
No,
really? I don't know.
I was actually I was trying to find that interview. I couldn't find it. I only found the apology. So thank you for pointing out that the things that he said because I didn't get to hear it. But
it was on his podcast.
But yeah. Peter Rosenberg was like basically saying that he doesn't like he says one thing I don't like about certain other rap fans, if it's not about gun talk, then it's not really hip hop or whatever the case may be, and how Logic is this, I guess, a true essence of hip hop, and how everybody keeps talking to gun talk, but you're not really living that life, you're not really doing that life, or whatever the case may be, and I kind of took a little offense to that because much respect to Logic, much respect to him. I actually think that
because you're not a big gun talk rap fanatic, so why did you think
so? Because
and you know what? I'm sorry to cut.
Rappers that are
I just
like
want
that.
to point. I just want to point this out. It's interesting that he points that out because Joe Budden's one of his biggest arguments about Logic is the fact that he feels like Logic is not authentic. Essentially, you know, he feels like Logic is not truly representative about what he's really talking about. Yeah. He's like, I see, like he feels like he sees the falseness in Logic and that it's a facade. And Rosenberg is flipping it. Like
to tie what both of you were saying, Rosenberg had an interview with Logic, right? And Logic was saying, Rosenberg was saying, you are unapologetically yourself. Like you've been yourself. And he's like, yeah, I've been me. I'm like a nerdy, happy, go lucky, gentle type dude. And I think it's interesting that Rosenberg tried to, set the table up for him to be this genuine person, somehow more genuine than other artists in hip hop. And it's interesting.
That's the crux of why I'm like a little agitated about that, man. Because there's so many other genuine people, other MCs that's hip hop, and that people like Joe Budden respect. You know what I mean? And people I feel like a lot of what Joe Budden was saying was he kind of, even though some of it was like he flipped it. Like Peter Rosenberg flipped a lot of it, and it was kind of like you kind of disrespecting a whole generation, a whole group, a whole community of people that and also the rappers that are actually that's doing what Logic was doing before Logic was doing what he was doing. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like is he like he's the poster boy of all positivity of hip hop and different things like that. It was very it kind of rubbed me the wrong way.
And it's really weird because it suggests, like you said, that there are other people here who aren't being themselves. And it's like we could take an artist who's like right from around the way from where Logic is from, right? Wale is from DC. And Wale, listen, if anybody has been himself, it's Wale. Wale's like first mixtape was the mixtape about nothing, which revolved around Seinfeld, right? Like we wasn't watching Seinfeld growing up. I don't know about y'all. But like I remember what we used to watch growing up. We was watching, The Fresh Prince. We was watching Martin. We was watching, I'm trying to think of other shows. I can't.
Well, I was a fan of Living Single.
Yeah. Even to like broaden the horizon. I know we was watching Saved by the Bell. Like that was around too. Yeah. So it's not just to make it like a race thing.
Boy Meets World, all of that.
Yeah, Boy Meets World, facts. But Seinfeld wasn't it.
No.
For us. And he came out and he's like, I'm a big Seinfeld fan. and wrestling. Like he's a big wrestling fan. Also, Griselda are big wrestling fans who I felt that this was a shot at. But yo, Martin, you are, you're. I would say that your personality and who you are, like as a person, would be someone who Logic should find a fan in, right? Like you are.
I agree.
But he doesn't. But you're not the biggest Logic fan.
I'm not.
And you don't. You're not.
And
like
that's
the gun.
I'm actually. I side a lot of what Joe was saying, not in a negative sense, because to just take it back to the Peter Rosenberg interview with Logic, he did Logic did mention something that I kind of sort of agree with him too, was saying that a lot of the stuff that Joe Budden says can be said in better taste, because people's feelings can get in the mix, and people get hurt off of what other people say, as people hurt themselves just off of what someone else says, and it could be a driving force to want to commit pain on oneself. So I get it. Sticks and stones may break my bones, words will never hurt me. I never really believed in that concept. I think that words do hurt, so you got to watch what you say. But at the same time, he's Joe Budden. I agree with the fact that like Logic to me, there's a lot more positive. There's a lot more in Griselda. There's a whole lot more of I'm being myself more than Logic. Like Logic to me just sounds like one day he sounds like Kanye.
Like you can't.
The other day he sounds like this cat. The other day he sounds like another cat. Like
You can't say they being themselves. Like Benny's brother got killed. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Conway got shot. Like his face is like forever gonna be the way. Don't disrespect. He plays off that as well. His face is the way that it is because he suffered a shot in the face. So they're not being inauthentic. Maybe it's exaggerated. The gumballs are exaggerated, but some of our favorite hip hop legends exaggerate the gumballs. Like, you know what I'm saying? And what's crazy is like you wouldn't say that to the gun rappers. Like you wouldn't, like Rosenberg's a hip hop head. You're not gonna talk crazy to the Locks. And the Locks was, you know what I'm saying? They was the dudes. You're not gonna come out your face to 50, and Lloyd Banks when they killed the mixtape game with gumballs. You're just not gonna do that. You only gonna throw blanket statements like that. Like people who don't like Logic like gun rappers. And it kind of feels like some hidden harbored resentment that he's had. And I did want to say, like, I'm not a big fan of Rosenberg, bro. He kind of feels like, sure, you could be a hip hop fan,
like gentrification,
but you're not part of this culture. And you know what? I don't want to make it a race thing, because when it comes to underground hip hop, I've been influenced OD by underground hip hop, right? And for example, we was gonna get into the R.A. the Rugged Man Joe Budden thing. R.A. the Rugged Man to me is hip hop. He's from hip hop culture. Like he's speaking from a hip hop point of view. He don't rub me the way he don't rub me the way that that Rosenberg do. Where like R.A. the Rugged Man, sure, I don't agree with his opinion, but he's a hip hop person. Like he's from this culture. Rosenberg kind of feel like a guest. He kind of feels like a guest, and it's not because he's white. Because like I feel like anybody could be a guest if you didn't grow up in this culture. If you're not from this culture, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Right.
And it's just like,
so what are the,
you don't have respect for the gumballs. That means you don't got respect for like Mobb Deep. Like you don't have respect for Wu-Tang. You don't got respect for the legends, bro.
You don't got respect for any of those cats that kind of help formulate and self-identify in terms of hip hop. You know what I mean?
And the greatest rappers out right now aren't the gumball rappers. Like we not. All right, there's Kendrick slander, there's J. Cole slander, right? Like that exists, but they're respected. Like nobody is asking J. Cole to retire. In fact, J. Cole has been hinting at retiring, and everybody's like, "Yo, please don't do it." And they're not the gun rappers, and we love them. It's just that Logic is boring. He lacks personality. Don't make it seem like I don't have a diverse taste, or my taste palette is limited just because the artist that you think is technically gifted, and he's technically gifted, is boring. He don't got a personality.
Yeah,
he don't say nothing to move me.
One of the things that he said in the interview was that Logic is one of the best to do it in the past decade. Like,
when he said that, I was like, yo, my guy. Yo,